Praxis 5713 Writing Process and Instruction Preparation Quiz. Question 1. A 4th grade teacher is curating a classroom library. Which of the following principles should guide her selections to best support the development of lifelong readers? Is it? Option A. The library should contain only books at or slightly above grade level to ensure students are constantly challenged. B. The library should contain a wide variety of genres, reading levels, and topics to appeal to diverse interests and abilities, including magazines, graphic novels, and student-authored work. C. The library should be organized strictly by reading level, and students should only be allowed to choose books from their assigned level. Or D. The library should primarily consist of classic works of children's literature that have stood the test of time. The correct answer is B. The correct answer is B. A key factor in developing lifelong readers is providing students with choice and access to a wide range of reading materials that reflect their interests and identities. A diverse classroom library with books at various levels, genres, and formats, including magazines and graphic novels, ensures that every student can find something they want to read, which is the most powerful motivator for building reading stamina and a positive reading identity. Option A would frustrate and discourage struggling readers and bore advanced ones. Option C, rigid leveling, removes student choice and can be stigmatizing. Option D, while including classics, is too narrow and may not reflect the interests and backgrounds of all students. Question 2. A 1st grade teacher is planning phonics instruction. She introduces the consonant digraphs sh, ch, and th1 at a time over several weeks. For each digraph, she follows a similar routine. She explicitly states the sound, has students repeat the sound, shows them words containing the digraph, and has them practice reading and writing words with that digraph in isolation and in simple sentences. This instructional approach is best described as, is it? Option A. Systematic and explicit instruction. B. Inquiry-based learning. C. Whole language instruction. Or D. Balanced literacy approach. The correct answer is A. The correct answer is A. Systematic and explicit instruction is a hallmark of effective, evidence-based reading instruction, particularly for foundational skills like phonics. Systematic refers to teaching skills in a carefully planned, logical sequence, in this case, one digraph at a time. Explicit refers to direct, clear teaching of the skill, leaving nothing to chance or inference, e.g., stating the sound, modeling, providing guided practice. This approach is highly effective for ensuring all students master the code. Option B, inquiry-based learning, is a student-led approach where they discover concepts through exploration, which is not what is described here. Option C, whole language, often de-emphasizes explicit phonics instruction in favor of immersion in literature and guessing words from context. Option D, balanced literacy, is a broader philosophy that can include explicit phonics, but the specific routine described is a textbook example of systematic, explicit instruction. Question 3. A kindergarten teacher is reading a big book to her class. As she reads, she occasionally stops and runs her finger under the words from left to right. She also points out the difference between the words and the illustrations, asking questions like, "How do I know that says bear, and that is the picture of the bear?" This teacher is primarily fostering students' development of, is it? Option A. Phonemic awareness. B. Concepts of print. C. Reading comprehension strategies. Or D. Sight word vocabulary. The correct answer is B. The correct answer is B. Concepts of print, also called print awareness, refers to a set of foundational understandings about how written language works. This includes directionality, reading left to right, top to bottom, the concept that words are separated by spaces, the difference between letters and words, and the distinction between print and pictures. The teacher's actions a euro. Tracking text, pointing out the distinction between the word and the illustration a euro, are all classic, explicit instructional moves to build these essential pre-reading skills. Option A is incorrect. Phonemic awareness is an auditory skill. Option C is too advanced. While she is building a foundation for comprehension, her specific actions target the mechanics of print. Option D is a later skill involving automatic word recognition. Remember, we can take your Praxis 5713 exam for you remotely and undetected, with pass % score guaranteed. Message us via the number in the bio. Question 4. A second grade teacher is administering a universal screening assessment at the beginning of the school year. The assessment requires each student to read a list of increasingly difficult words in isolation, without pictures or context, within a specific time limit. The teacher's goal is to identify students who may be at risk for reading difficulties. Which of the following reading components is this assessment primarily designed to measure? Is it? Option A. Reading comprehension and the ability to construct meaning from text. B. Phonological awareness, specifically the ability to rhyme and segment syllables. C. Sight word vocabulary and orthographic mapping, which are key indicators of automatic word recognition. Or D. Listening comprehension and receptive vocabulary knowledge. The correct answer is C. The correct answer is C. An assessment that asks students to read words in isolation, without contextual support, and under a time constraint is designed to measure a student's automaticity in word recognition. This taps into their store of sight words, words they can recognize instantly and effortlessly. This automaticity is a product of orthographic mapping, the mental process by which the brain permanently stores words for immediate retrieval. The goal of such a screening is to identify students who have not yet developed fluent word recognition, as this lack of fluency is a hallmark of reading difficulties like dyslexia. If a student struggles to decode words automatically, their cognitive resources are diverted away from comprehension, creating a significant barrier to skilled reading. Option A is incorrect because comprehension cannot be accurately measured with words in isolation. Comprehension requires connected text. Option B describes phonological awareness, which is an auditory skill and is best measured through oral tasks like rhyming or sound manipulation, not by reading printed words. Option D describes listening comprehension, which is a separate skill typically assessed by having students listen to a passage and answer questions, not by reading printed words. Question 5. A teacher is using a running record to assess a student's oral reading. The student reads the sentence, "The boy rode his bike down the hill." The text actually says, "The boy walked his bike down the hill." The student continues reading without correcting the error. According to MSQ analysis, this substitution, rode for walked, is most likely influenced by which cueing system? Is it? Option A. Graphophonic, because the words look visually similar with the same number of letters and a similar shape. B. Syntactic, because rode is a verb and fits grammatically in the sentence structure. C. Semantic, because riding a bike down a hill is a common and logical action that makes sense in the context. Or D. Pragmatic, because the student may be thinking about how they themselves ride a bike. The correct answer is C. The correct answer is C. MSQ analysis involves analyzing the errors, miscues, a student makes to understand their reading process. This substitution of rode for walk changes the meaning, but creates a sentence that is still semantically plausible and logical. The student is primarily using meaning cues, semantics, from the context of the story. They are focused on making the text make sense, even if it means substituting a word that fits their mental model of the scene. Option A is possible if the words look similar, but rode and walked have different visual patterns. Option B is true. Both are verbs, but the miscue is best explained by the meaning-based substitution. Option D is incorrect. Pragmatics involves the social use of language, which is not relevant here. How many did you score out of 5? Let us know in the comments below. Also, tell us which exam we should cover next. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more.